What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon, and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are finally talking about Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. So if you have watched this channel for any length of time, you will know my undying love for Sarah J Maas. When I read these books initially, I read them all in such quick succession that I wasn't churning videos out for them the way that I normally would, and I was like, well, maybe I'll wait and do them all in one big thing. Little did I know this series was gonna be like a monster and amazing and very complex, which just made doing videos for it even more difficult. So when Kingdom of Ash came out, the last book in the series, I was like, you know what, fine, I'll go back and I'll reread a couple. I didn't reread the whole series, I started with Queen of Shadows, but hey, finally got to it. So still haven't talked about Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, or Heir of Fire. So that is what we were finally here to do today. And I'm also going to say, since this is a reread, and since I have read the entire series, there is no guarantee on me being able to conceal any spoilers. So this is gonna kind of be like a deep dive into this series, more like how I did Twilight a couple of weeks ago. I'm just really excited to really get into the story here. So Throne of Glass was just like this huge tipping point. It's really amazing to go back to this first book because everything seems so simple. Like we have, this famed assassin. She is in the salt mines of Endivir. She's serving in this slave labor camp. And the Prince of Adarlan comes to her and it's like, hey, my father, the king of the empire, is hosting a competition because he wants somebody to be his champion. And if you agree to be mine, then hey, I'll shorten your minutes and you'll have your freedom. And she's just like, why on earth would I want to do that? But hey, I want to be free, so might as well go with you. And then hence this book just launches us into this kind of typical YA story of a bunch of weeks going by. She's training, she's competing in this contest. We know eventually she's going to end up the final one with the final showdown, but things kind of start happening in the background. There is a lot in this book with the characters and the relationships, but we see with Celaena Sardothien that not everything is what it seems, and that Celaena has a lot of secrets that are not disclosed to the reader. This was something that when I read the entire series the first time, it kind of started to frustrate me because Celaena knows way more than the reader does, and the reader is only clued into those things when it is finally time for it. The dramatic irony here is that the characters know more than you do instead of the other way around, and I really liked being able to see kind of the glimpses and the Easter eggs of that going back into Throne of Glass. She starts to see, there's word marks everywhere, the king's kind of weird, we have these weird black rings and some people with black eyes, and then oh my god, there are demons going on, what's happening here? We are slowly moving our pieces into place for what is going to be the rest of the series. I really enjoy Throne of Glass. I think it is great on its own as well, just the way that the characters are done. I was a huge fan of the original trio. I loved Celaena and Dorian and Chaol, and this is a little bit of a controversial opinion, but I really love Chaol. He's actually one of my favorite characters from this series, and I really love the dynamic of that trio. Now, yes, I did really ship Chaol and Celaena. This book, there's a lot of Dorian and Celaena. We'll get to Chaol a little bit later, but I did really ship that. I know where things end up, and I'm really glad with how Chaol's character ends up. He doesn't get left in the dust, because the way that these books kind of shape up, he is the captain of the guard. He is very loyal to his country, and when his loyalties are tested, he is going to go through a lot of things. And same with Dorian. This is the kind of the tip of the iceberg for Dorian. He's feeling very restless within this court. Something is about to happen. There's something inside of him that needs to come out, and you're seeing all of those little threads very well placed within Throne of Glass. If you haven't read this series, I do highly recommend it. I really recommend reading along with these books with me. And as far as Throne of Glass goes, I think it is a really, really amazing book just all on its own. There are some fluffy moments. We do have some really amazing character moments. We learn a lot about Celaena, even though obviously this, there's so much more going on with her, but we do learn a lot about her. We get to see how she interacts with Dorian, how she interacts with Chaol, how she interacts with Nehemia. All of these relationships are really going to matter as the story goes on, and I really loved being able to kind of sit back and see that again, but then at the same time being filled with dread, knowing where the series is going to go. So I really enjoyed this reread. I'm very excited to get to Crown of Midnight. I remember the first time reading reading that book, and oh man, is it a ride. So I hope you guys come on this reread with me. I am giving this book an A+. I think it's fantastic. I think it is so well done. I do know the gripes with Sarah J Maas, and I do think that she improves as a writer. I think you really see that in Crescent City, which is her latest book. But as far as this book is concerned, I do think it is very much a showcase of what YA fantasy can be, and I think she just does it all really well. So I'm excited to see where this reread's gonna go, and I hope you guys come along with me. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything got for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!